Emma McKnight is our student from Sociology today. And similar to Janie, I have a series of questions that I'm going to ask Emma in turn. And, we're going to hear from Emma's perspective, what her experiences have been like here at Carleton and also in the Department of Sociology and Anthropology. So Emma, I'm going to begin to start asking you our first question in a moment. So I believe this is the part where I'm put into the background. Perfect. And Emma is up there. Hi, Emma. How's it going?
Hello.
And Emma, it's very nice to meet you again. You're also an active member of the Sociology and Anthropology Student Association, along with Janie, Felicity, and a whole range of other undergraduates. And I've worked with you, I've done orientation with you, as well as a bunch of Meet the Department events with you as well. So we're used to working with each other. And I just want to thank you, first of all, for doing this. And I suppose my first question to you, Emma, is going to be the same series of questions that I asked Janie. But I'm going to start off with, what made you choose Carleton, Emma, in the first place? Because you're a fourth-year student now, correct, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am.
Yeah, so to reflect back on your 4 years, if you can remember back, what were some of the reasons that made you choose Carleton? Maybe you could tell our audience out there.
So my older cousin, when I came to Carleton, was in third year in architecture, and she loved Carleton so much. She told me to come. She gave me a tour of the campus, and it was so beautiful. I loved it. And I knew I wanted to do sociology because of the courses I took in high school, and I've always been very interested in it. And so, yeah, it was really, my cousin invited me to come. And yeah, and also I love Ottawa. It's such a beautiful city. And I wanted to get out of my small town.
Ah, yeah, because I was going to ask you that, because Janie said she moved from Toronto to Ottawa. So you moved from a rural small town into the big city of Ottawa, huh?
Yes, I came from Napanee, Ontario.
Ah, okay. And how was that transition for you, say, going from a small town into, a fairly large, busy, active campus like Carleton,
So it was really interesting because Carleton as a campus has twice as many people as my town. So just in that regard was really fun. Right. And I just like Ottawa. Coming from a small town, I really suggest this city because you do get the small town vibe, only with Starbucks and a university. Yeah. No, and I just really enjoyed coming. The transition was good. I met so many new people from Toronto who I would never normally meet, people from all over Canada. And yeah.
Ah. And if you were to think back, over the last few years of your degree, do you have a few moments that stand out for you as being kind of particularly noteworthy, particularly moments that you're particularly proud of? In some way, I was wondering if you could share some of those moments, if you can recollect them.
So one of my favorite moments that really stands out to me is when I made the dean's list last year, because in high school I had terrible grades. I wasn't even sure if I'd get into university, and just Carleton as an institution is so good at teaching, and it really fit my learning style. And so I was able to make the dean's list, and I was just so proud of myself because I would never dream of that. Right. And yeah, I really have been proud of like what I've done in my classes. I've become a more confident public speaker. I am really proud of like a lot of the writings I do now.
Right.
Yeah, so that would be the main, and also meeting all my new friends.
So it sounds like you went from, like you said, right, being in high school and not getting super high grades, and then through your transition with Carleton and with the teaching there, you basically, found your academic path, so to speak, and you were able to flourish in those kind of circumstances, right?
Yeah, I'm planning on doing my master's now. If you had asked me at 18 if I'd be doing that, I would have said, no, I'm not smart enough. But Carleton has just bumped my confidence so well. I know I can do it. I've learned so much that, yeah, I would really recommend sociology and anthropology as a program just because the people are so nice and you get such a confidence boost.
Yeah, that's great to hear that we're doing something right anyway in our departments, Emma. And do you like you've taken a bunch of courses, right? any particular courses? Is there any favorite course that stands out in your mind, or maybe a favorite few courses? Any come to mind that you can think of?
So I took Thinking the Social with Justin Paulson back in 2019,
Okay.
and just learning the history of sociology and all the different ideologies that go along with sociological research. I found that class really enjoying, and it
Right.
really made us think. And then I liked it so much that I took Sociology of Trumpism, which is a very interesting
Ah,
course as well with Justin Paulson.
very
And
topical.
yeah, that was not that fun. It was kind of heartbreaking, but I
Yeah.
really enjoyed the course. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed the course. So
Huh.
yeah, I like
And
ideology courses.
so it sounds like, you're the kind of student who really likes to get into these sort of intensive, intellectually challenging kind of courses, right? And to try to, sort of push your brain and push your ideas as much as you can, huh?
Yeah, and like these courses, especially in sociology and at Carleton, they really teach you how to think, like not in a bad way, but just how to like
Yeah.
vocalize what it is that you're thinking and put your ideas into a more professional format.
Right. And I mean, you've already kind of touched upon this in terms of my next question, like, what are some of the skills that you've developed throughout this degree? Some of the ones you've already mentioned has been this sense of confidence that you've got as a result of the courses that you've taken in Carleton, and that more outgoing sort of curious sort of expression. Are there other skills that you can think of that you haven't mentioned already, Emma, that come to mind in relation to some of the things that you've learned and that you'll bring with you from your degree?
I've definitely learned how to organize my time so that way I don't get too overwhelmed at once. I used to be a chronic procrastinator. This year, that doesn't seem to be happening. So I'm going to put that down as a really good skill that I've learned.
Nice.
And then also writing skills. I always loved to write, even when I was a kid. But coming to Carleton, I've learned, like, I've perfected my writing almost. And I'm very proud of that.
Nice.
And just critical thinking skills. I'm able to discuss topics now and take a different perspective than I would have had I not taken sociology. I've come to understand the world differently. And in this world that we're living in, like with coronavirus and politics and everything, having this background in sociology has really helped me to navigate the world and make sense of it.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't think of two better subjects to take, apart from geography as well, obviously. But I couldn't think of two better subjects to take than anthropology and especially sociology. I'm a bit biased, just in terms of helping students figure out the world, the rapidly changing and confusing world around us today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, like I said to Janie, things are kind of uncertain with COVID-19. It's hard to make future plans, but do you have any plans for the future in terms of, you mentioned grad school potentially? Where do you think your degree is going to lead you, or what sort of what goals do you have with your degree, Emma?
I would like to become a social servant, specifically helping the like poor people, marginalized communities. I'd like to help the mentally ill. And I don't know exactly where I want to go, but I am interested in social work.
Right.
I haven't taken too many social work classes because I found that they were very for social work majors. But
Right.
no, I after I do my master's, I'm definitely going to look into maybe working at a shelter or doing something else. I'm not really sure yet.
And I imagine doing subjects like sociology and anthropology, even though they're social sciences, they do tend to focus a lot on people and a lot of the issues that are affecting people in serious ways today as well, right? So it sounds as though there's a kind of a nice connection between your degree and the kind of jobs and careers that you're exploring as well, Emma, yeah?
Yeah, we have a family friend who works for the government with the people with mental disabilities,
Okay.
and he was saying that he doesn't have anyone in his office that has a master's in sociology, but he would hire them in an instant if they did. And
Right.
so I'm feeling pretty confident about getting a job working in social services like that. I just want to help people, and I think
Right.
sociology is a really good program to take if you are interested in understanding the world and helping people.
Right. And I know that was my last question, but I just want to ask you one more quick question, if you don't mind, Emma. So in terms of your experiences with the Student Association, same with Janie, do you think that being part of SASA and being part of this undergraduate society, that also has contributed to your positive experiences and your academic learning at Carleton?
Absolutely. In my first 2 years here, I wasn't very involved. And then in my third year, I joined SASA, and I wish I had done it sooner. I wish I had joined in first year when I was asked to, but I was
Right.
just so nervous. And my advice for any first years coming in, don't be nervous about joining a club or getting involved in student life, because it's so rewarding. You'll feel more accomplished once you do as a student. You'll feel more rounded as a student, and you'll have something to do. You'll make new friends. Like, I made so many friends in SASA. Janie is one of them. And yeah, I wish I had done it sooner. I love being in SASA.
Nice. Well, I'm really glad to hear that you've had, such positive experiences both in our department as well as in Carleton in general. I was wondering, Emma, do you have any sort of comments or hints or tips that you'd like to say to our audience of students out there? Do you have any sort of last minute hints and tips for them, or we can finish up as well if nothing comes to mind. It's kind of an on the spot question, so I apologize.
It's okay. I already told them that they should join and get involved with as many clubs as possible. But also,
Right.
I would like to tell them not to try and not get super stressed out in their first year, and just make sure they stay on top of things. Don't procrastinate. Don't pull all-nighters, because that's horrible. I think I've done a couple for your class, and not fun. And that's all my fault. It's never the professor's fault if you're doing an all-nighter, just so everyone knows. But yeah, stay on top of things. Don't let yourself get too stressed out. Look after your mental health and get involved, because getting involved will make everything else feel like it's falling into place, as it did for me.
Yeah. Thanks, Emma. I mean, just to kind of recap on some of the points that you've made, it's really important, right? Just to say to the students out there as well who are listening, some of the points you made about being part and being connected to some sort of organization or group of people, it really helps with the isolation and the loneliness that, myself and many other people who have gone through first year feel as well, right? And also in terms of mental health and stress, right? That actually being a part of an association or a group of friends, right, through the university can also be a really useful resource and kind of form of support to in difficult times, because, it is stressful, right? Schoolwork can be stressful. People are working, they might have kids, etc. So I'm glad to hear that despite these challenges that you've come out of it swimmingly and are looking towards a bright future in social work, Emma. So I really want to thank you for taking the time today to share your experiences with everyone here. It's been wonderful talking with you again.